great and bountiful YouTube empire. I'm your host, Chiin Ferno, and welcome back to Bekah's request. Today we're working on, as you saw, the digital shading. So those were the flats of the image, and now we are working on the shading of the image. A lot of times what I like to do is, since I don't currently have a tablet, because my last tablet just hasn't really been working very well, and I don't have the pen for my other tablet, so I don't even know if that one works well. So I've been using the mouse for like all of my artwork lately, and so what I've discovered from that, however, is the excellent tool that the pen tool is. That's actually something I learned back at school when we learned about the pen tool, and I finally understood how to use it, and I've been using it ever since. So what I like to do to get nice cleanish lines, so I like to use the pen tool, put it on multiply, and then we got shadows. And I just use a nice shade of blue for the basic shadows, and then I kind of upgrade them later, but for now they're the light shade of blue. And then here I'm working on some of the highlights and stuff. I didn't do too much highlighting in this picture because I didn't really need it. I should note that from an academic point of view, the light logic in this image is, it doesn't really make that much sense. You'll see, especially later when I add in the background in the next video, that the lighting just doesn't really make all that much sense. But I just kind of did what felt right, and I mean, if you're not like looking for it, it seems to work out fine, especially since I didn't put too many highlights in there. I also sometimes like to add little gradients to sort of add to the shadows. Gradients can be really nice at helping with shading, but I wouldn't recommend using only gradients for shading. And I used to do that in the past, and well, I've upgraded since then. Getting the shadows on the staff were really difficult. I ended up doing it in two different parts because I could not fit it in one. I guess the staff is a little bit bent or something. And here are just some light swatches, which I'm realizing now, rewatching this, that I didn't actually go back and do those on Micah. I guess he didn't necessarily need them, but interesting to kind of realize that. Whoops. A few different ways I tend to do glasses. This time I just kind of just put a lighter shade of multiply with the blue on it, but normally I go all out and kind of, I think I usually use screen a lot of the times instead of multiply, and then these are layer settings. I forget what they're actually called. There's a term for it, but usually I just use screen and then add some highlights and stuff, but I did it kind of simply here. Fun fact about this video, by the way, this is the first video in this particular series for this specific drawing that I haven't used Billy Hatcher music in it. I mean, that's an amazing fact, I know. Your mind is just blown, but an interesting tidbit. guys are just dying to have some of this music, by the way. Save for the Billy Hatcher stuff in the previous videos. All this is YouTube's royalty-free music that they provide, so have at it. It's free. It's also very possible you may have heard some of it before on other videos by other people. I notice that happens a lot, which makes sense. I never did fix those shoes. Or rather, finish. And again, with Micah, the lighting makes a little bit more sense than it does with Bekah, because Bekah's lighting, like literally goes the opposite of what it should. That was just even something I was saying about while making this. I was like, the lighting is just really wonky, but Micah's actually turned out to make a lot more sense. You'll see that later on in the next video. And of course, you gotta shade water, baby. Admittedly, I didn't put as much effort in shading water, baby, as I did with the other two. But here's the final product for this segment. And I hope to see you next time. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, feel free to give it a like. And if you're not yet, feel free to subscribe. It just takes one click. And if you have any questions for me or just any comments, then feel free to leave them down below in the comment section. Thank you for watching.